was getting jumped and I felt like nobody was defending me. Like I was by myself. And everybody around watching us. I was like, but hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Anika here and I'm back again with another video. In today's episode of Girl Chat Navigating Your 20s, we'll be talking about how we are our own worst enemies. I've been noticing a pattern in life. I don't want to say social media because it's not necessarily only social media, but it's more like potent over there. I've been noticing a pattern with women. And it's so strange because we are supposed to be united. We're supposed to be sisters. We're supposed to be uplifting, empowering. I can't say this word. We are supposed to be uplifting and empowering each other. Whereas we are our own biggest like haters, you know? And you could see it with like, let's say somebody posts a beauty tutorial or fashion tutorial video, vlog or whatever. You will mainly see women in the comments bashing and hating on the original poster. You know what I mean? And it's so sad because we already get so much hate and backlash from some men and society in general. Like we are supposed to be the ones that are holding us together. But I feel like, I don't want to say more and more, but I feel like we are hating on one another. And for what? You know, we are literally the same with different personalities, different kinks, different tweaks about us, but we are literally the same sex. So why is it that we feel the need to tear each other down, you know? And it's sad because that's kind of why it's kind of hard for me personally to befriend women, because a lot of the women that I was friends with in the past were in secret competition with me or had like secret animosity towards me and hatred towards me for some reason. It was to the point where at school I was bullied a lot. And I remember one day my father came to pick me up from school, and I can't remember if he picked me up all the way from school or I was walking already and I called him because some girls were bothering me. But I just remember getting in the car and oh no, you know what it was? I told my dad, like, Daddy, look, these I was like about like 14. I was like, Daddy, look, these are the girls that like bothering me and, you know, calling me names and all those things. And he was like, okay. So he rolled on the window, the passenger seat window, and he was like, hey, what was all the problem with my daughter, basically? Like, what you got with my daughter? And they were like, she got too much style. Which means, for those that really don't understand like Caribbean slang, it basically just means like I feel myself too much. Like I'm too into myself and I feel like I'm better than everybody else, which is totally not true. Like I don't believe that I'm better than anybody else. If you know me, like really, really know me, you know. I don't think that I'm better than anybody else. I have my own insecurities, my own flaws, and I don't project them on people, especially not women. But that day, like, it really opened my eyes to see like a lot of these girls that I, you know, was around and like grew up with were either jealous of me, envious of me, or didn't know how to like approach me in a respectful way. So they start to bully me, and I got bullied bad. Like it wasn't necessarily like physical, but it was more so verbal. I have like this mole on my temple, and I used to hate it. Like at first I never really had a problem with it, but once I hit primary school, that's when the bullying started. People started calling me a cockroach because of this. I don't see how it looks like a cockroach, but anyways, they started calling me a cockroach, and then that led up until like high school, and they would just call me cockroach, cockroach, cockroach. And that would be my name. Like I would literally be walking, and there was different sections that I didn't really like pass alone because of this. Like I would be walking and they would just be like, cockroach, cockroach, cockroach. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, my ignore game is so strong. I used to ignore the hell out of these people because those kind of people, they were beneath me. Like, and I'm just being honest, they were beneath me because I would never fix my lips to deliberately call somebody a name just because I see them walking past me, because I feel like they have their lives together, or they look a certain way, or they feel like they're better than me. You know, no, I would never like deliberately harass somebody just because I have my own personal insecurities going on, you know? And it's women, mostly women, that were like calling me these names and calling me cockroach and things like that. And like the guys, obviously, I didn't really care for them because men, they would like deliberately like look for me to pick on me and call me these names, or like brush me, or like try to trip me and try to fight me and things. And at a time, I was coming out of school and I was walking home from school, and for some reason, like, I decided to like get real quiet because I was hearing noises behind me. And this video kind of going all over the place, but I was hearing noises behind me. And just a little backstory, some of the girls in the school had beef with me, unbeknownst to me. Like, I didn't really know that they had beef with me up until like a few weeks, you know, leading up to what I'm about to tell you, is when I knew like they had beef with me. Because to me, I didn't really pay them any mind, but I would see them looking at me like sideways and cutting their eyes at me and like acting weird. And those were people that I actually was friends with before. So I guess this is like a little story time. But anyways, and I was walking with two of my cousins. Why have like little light flies? And if you know Monizako, in Kokode, like you see that area like from the school, and then have like an alley, the first alley right before you hit Monizako and come out to Monizako. I was walking, I used to take the alley to like come out of Concordia side. For those of you that live in St. Martin. For some reason, I was hearing noise behind me, and I decided to look back. And when I looked back, all I saw were blue shirts, because at the time, that was the color of our uniform. A bunch of students following behind me. Well, at first I was like, maybe it's not for me. But I was like, I look and I saw a group of girls in front, right? In front of the group of people, students I was walking behind. And the people in the crowd were instigating. They wanted to fight me, basically. They wanted to beat me up. So it had people that was instigating and like, push her, start the fight and thing. I wasn't even paying any mind. I had sandals on. I think I had my blue sandals on. And child, I didn't feel like fighting. So what I did was, once I felt the first push behind me, I took my shoes off and I kept walking, because you're not about to like beat me up, gun me up, and yeah. I was walking and I felt like a hard push. So I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then I can't remember, I don't know, I think I hit them back, and then we started fighting. And then I felt like a bunch of girls on me, like about 7 girls up, and I'm not even lying, about 6-7 girls on me. And it had a video up on YouTube. But I went to the school and asked them to take it down, because, I mean, hello. I don't need no videos of me fighting online. I don't really care if it's still there, to be honest. I really don't care. But I remember what I was doing in that video. We were fighting. All of them were fighting on me. I had one of the girls I used to be friends with. She was apparently my cousin. Or related to me. So we were friends, and after we fell out because of some beef, some stupid. And she was part of them that were trying to fight me and thing. And when I tell you, all of these girls that were on me, I was focused on one, because she was the one that wanted to fight me. These people were just there to back her up, but she was the one that wanted to fight me. So whatever was going on, I wasn't really paying any mind to. I was fighting her. Like, I get beat too, and it is what it is. There was never a moment that they had me on the ground I was beating my ass. It never had a moment where they was just like beating me up to a pulp. No, I held my own amongst these 6-7 girls, or maybe even 5, I can't remember, but I know it was a lot. But with her personally, I was getting my licks in, because why do you want to fight me? I personally don't have nothing against you. I want you to leave me alone, okay? I come to school to learn. I don't want to have anything to do with you if you have beef with me. And I don't know, she probably had her own reasons why she didn't like me anymore. And boom, so that kind of was that. But you know what was fake too, to me, at the time? The 2 girls that I was with, well, my cousins, what the fuck? I don't remember them jumping in, because I was getting jumped. And I felt like nobody was defending me. Like, I was by myself. And everybody around watching us. I was like, but hello. And I felt like nobody was defending me, so I had to hold my own. I felt like they were just around watching. And I saw them watching, okay? So let me just say that. And if that's not what I saw then, but I saw them watching. And from since that day, I just started moving different with people, relatives. Because, like, if you could watch me getting jumped right in front of you, then I mean nothing to you. So anyways, so that whole ordeal, I went home, I told my mother what happened. And, you know, I went to the gendarme, the authorities, and told them what happened. And I can't remember what happened with them people. And then I went to the girl mother house personally and let her know what happened. And she got her ass beat, period. Yeah. So that was that situation. I have another story time. I don't know if I probably told like years ago, but I have another story time about like fights. I fought a lot in school, but the main fights is what like stick with me. So I have another big fight that happened, and I'll probably do a little story time about that after. Oh, and I also want to touch base on another thing too. How I view women and this whole girls and us being our biggest haters as women. Whenever I used to get my hair done, they would always ask me if I want to shave my sideburns. And listen to me, I'm not the most confident person and I have my insecurities, but when it comes to like my hair and my sideburns, leave them alone. Don't have nothing to tell me about it. I love my sideburns. I've never had an issue with my sideburns. I've never felt insecure about my sideburns until people pointed them out to me, you know, or why I don't like cut it, why I don't shave it, because it's not bothering me. It was always my response, because I don't have a problem with them. They're not bothering me. You know, I have confidence in certain things about myself and I don't see the need to like shave them off. First of all, my skin is so sensitive, I would get bumps and I don't have the time for that. And second of all, like, it just doesn't faze me. Like, this is something that was given to me by God. I was created this way. Why would I want to change that about myself? You know what I mean? So even when I used to like retwist my hair, I remember I went to a loctician one time and I never went there again. I won't say the name of the place, but it's a popular place in St. Martin. I went to get my hair retwisted and she was asking me if I don't want to like trim it a little bit. I was like, no, it's fine. And whenever I used to like, I think do braids or whatever, they would ask me if I want to like cut it a little bit. Or even when I used to flat iron my hair or whatever, they would ask me if I want to cut this or straighten it. Well, when I used to perm my hair, I used to perm this too, obviously. But they would ask me if I want to straighten it with a flat iron or like cut it or whatever. I would be like, no, it's fine. I just asked for a wash, blow dry, and a flat iron. This is fine for me. Don't touch it. And I think it had a time though it got to me to the point where I actually cut it. I cut it and I trimmed it down. And I think I did like 2 or 3 times after that. And then I said never again, because it wasn't, for me personally, it changed how I look. And it wasn't in a good way and I didn't like it because I felt like it was modifying myself and editing myself for people and to please people. So, and I used to be a people pleaser back in the days, but not anymore. And it's quite sad because a lot of the times women will come off as like, yeah, I got you, you know, sisters and this and that. And then behind your back, they do the most vile shit ever. It's unbecoming because sisterhood's supposed to be something that lasts a lifetime. When I watch like women that have been friends for like 20 plus years, 50 years or whatever, I am always in awe because you can tell that the sisterhood and the friendship and the relationship is so strong that one little inconvenience doesn't deter them from being friends. It doesn't make them want to not be friends anymore. It doesn't make them want to cut ties. I'm not saying that they probably didn't have arguments or like separated for a while, but at the end of the day, they always came back because they knew that the story and the history was too much to lose and to break. So they made the changes, they made the improvements, they worked on their friendship, they worked on their sisterhood, and it lasted a lifetime. You know, but in this day and age, over one little inconvenience or one little disagreement, a lot of women will stop being friends with you. And that's okay. Do what you gotta do. But don't tell me that you got me and that we are sisters and that we like the best of friends, or it's beyond friendship at this point and things like that, than to just decide over one little misunderstanding or inconvenience or disagreement that you no longer want to be my friend. And it's okay, because life goes on, and if they are truly your friend and truly meant to be in your life, they will come back, and they will come back with a refreshed and reset mindset about how this relationship and friendship matters to them. But if they're not meant to be in your life, you will know and you will feel it, you know. I'm at a point in my life where a lot of the friendship that I lost per se wasn't really a loss for me, because if I'm being really honest, letting go of them and the relationship and the friendship, it opened me up to more opportunities. It made me become more confident and less held back, because sometimes we befriend people based off of what we're going through in that season, you know. Most of my friendships in the past were because of where I was in that season. I wasn't confident, I was depressed and all of these things, and they could have related to it, you know. So it was easier for us to form a friendship based off of where we were in that season. There was one friend though that I grew, well, I think two friends that I consider best friends, and honestly the best of friends, because we basically grew up together. But the first best friend that I ever had, we kind of really, like, we went our separate ways, and then we like stopped being like close friends, and then we just ended up just like being distant. And then my second best friend, which was in high school, she was really my best friend. Like, when she always had my back, and that was one person that I could really say like was a sister to me, and like was a real true best friend. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into details, but we had our moments, but she was really my best friend. But anyways, so, and I had a best friend after that too, but you know, the situations were kind of strange, because the way that we became friends was because we were in the same season together. So it was easier for us to form that friendship. And when we were both like entering in different stages in our lives, things started to kind of clash. And that's what people don't really discuss, is how when you evolve and when you start to grow and come out of a space where you were stuck in, your relationship starts to take a different turn, and they start to go the opposite way, because you're not really on the same pages anymore, and you are being fulfilled in life in a different way without having to depend on that person. So codependency in friendships are very, very real. I was codependent to my last best friend and vice versa, but I won't get into too much details about that because it's not something that I'd like to discuss in public. But yeah, at the end of the day, we just went our separate ways. And for me personally, it has been honestly the best thing ever, because you know, when you just like start to outgrow people, that's just what it was. And certain things happened that showed me how that person was moving and how that person truly was, and it just made my decision easier. So back to the subject at hand, and I have a note saying stay on topic. You know what, I really don't care if this video is too long and all over the place. I would actually enjoy to have like a longer video where you guys can like just chill and talk with me. But yeah, so, and to piggyback off of what I said, just because you outgrow a friend or a relationship or whatever it may be, doesn't mean that you have to have any hatred towards that person. For my healing process, I speak the words that I'm feeling out loud, instead of holding them in, because when I hold them in, I have pent up feelings, pent up anger, pent up sadness. But I've learned to just speak it out loud, so that it helps me heal better. It helps me to be more honest with myself. To be honest, I'm more honest with myself. I'm aware of what I'm feeling, and it just helps me to understand and gain clarity on my emotions, as opposed to just let my emotions fester inside of me, you know. So, which is why I don't really feel a way about certain things a lot, because I like to speak them out now. That's my healing process for me, is to speak them out loud and to own your part in it, and to own that it is what it is, and that's just what it is. I mentioned that over one inconvenience, things can just end a friendship, end a relationship, and sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary because the slight, the disappointment, the betrayal that goes on is just too much to come back from, you know. So you have to take that decision, make that decision to just end it, and that's fine. But when I say inconvenience, like over one inconvenience, I mean little things, like maybe you didn't like my opinion on something, maybe you didn't like the way that I talked to you that day, or maybe you didn't like the way I just didn't message you for a few hours or a day or 2 days, and you took it personally, you know. That is what I mean over one inconvenience, because those things, listen, very insignificant, you know. The only thing that I would say is, once those things happen, it's good to communicate it. That, hey, listen, I felt some type of way because I didn't hear from you for the past 2 days, you know, and I don't want to like come off as clingy, but I just wanted to know what was going on, or, you know, like what was the reason. And, you know, don't feel like that person is being shady towards you or being fake, because sometimes it's not that. It's just that people get overstimulated, people get overwhelmed, people tend to want to like just not have any contact with anybody. But the person that's doing that has to communicate that to the friend, and that's just what it is. When I was like, I had an issue with that. Like, I think I might just do a separate video on that, the thing that I'm gonna talk about, because yeah. All that to say is, sometimes as women, we are our own biggest critics and haters and enemies, because we know that in a society that was built by men for men, it's hard for us to like find our places here. Our menstrual cycles don't match up with the calendar that we follow, because our cycles are usually 28 days on average, and we have so many phases that we go through: pre-menstruation, pre-cycle, during our cycle, and after our cycle. Our hormones, like, child, anyways, it's just easier for us to be kinder to each other and give each other grace. Yes, there are some spiteful women, and those women we need to stay far away from them. But that's where discernment plays a huge part, you know. It just would be nice for us to be more kind to each other, for us to build more of a community with each other, rather than feeling like we're supposed to like be fighting each other. For what? Well, what are we fighting for exactly? For what space? For what? No, we should be banding together to make each other's lives easier. I tell you, when you have a solid friendship and a solid community with women, your life, you feel so soft, you feel so at peace, you feel so kind, you feel loved, like your aura is different, and it just feels good. But when you are at odds with your sister, odds with your friends, and you just can't seem to get along, it causes something in you to just turn negative. Like, wow, the men are evil to me, the women are evil to me. I can't catch a break. So yeah, that's kind of it for this video right now, because I feel like I'm going off topic and I don't want to go too much off topic. So I'll do a part 2 and better align my thoughts and get back to you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos and get notified. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a video. Don't forget to leave a like on this video as well, and share with anyone that you feel like needs to hear it. As always, what were your key takeaways from this video? What did you relate to? What did you resonate with? And what can you add to the topic? And share your experience as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video and for supporting me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I hope I had storage left. Ciao.